The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria has expressed shock over the hike in the pump price as it demands immediate reversal by the federal government. In a statement by the president of the TUC, Festus Osifo, the recent hike in petrol and electricity costs will increase the poverty level in the country. The union says the decision will take its toll on the welfare of the Nigerian people, particularly the working class. Joining me on TVC News at 10 for more on this is an oil industry expert, Charles Iban. Good to have you join us on TVC News at 10. Nigerians are on one hand excited by the coming on board of Dangote refinery, but unhappy about long queues at filling stations. Why has the scarcity persisted despite hike in petrol pump price? Mr. Ibiang, there's been mixed reactions with the coming on board of Dangote refinery. There is joy on one hand, but there is also dissatisfaction with the persisting queues at fueling stations. What is responsible for these queues, this scarcity now, despite hike in the price of the commodity?
Well, thank you so much for having me. There has been a lot of mixed feelings concerning the issues in the sector. And it's very, Nigerians are passing through a lot of hell in this particular time. But however, the realities must be confronted. The economic situation must be seen from a more, not emotional perspective, but from a clear perspective about the issues in the country. It is a good thing that the Dangote refinery is coming. This is going to increase the internal supply of petroleum products internally, and to a large extent, is going to reduce drastically the importation of petrol from outside the country into Nigeria. But however, the crisis today is not all about the Dangote refinery, whether it's coming or not. If Dangote refinery is coming, the difference that we are going to experience as a result of the price hike will not be anything less than a 60 naira or a 50 naira difference. And I think that is so very small. That is not what Nigerians may need. But if we must confront the economic truth and tell ourselves the truth. Last year, October, the landing cost of PMS is around 720 naira in Nigeria. But because of the double, the landing cost today, as per today, is around 1,200 naira. This is outside the master cost, MPA, and other costs attached to it. So if you look at it generally, the cost of reaching at the pump, which includes distribution costs and other costs, distributor costs that we get to this pump, this fuel to the pump, will be around 1,300 and something. And the government, in her own position, has taken away subsidy from her books. That is not reflected in the budget. So NNPC, which by law, by the PIA, is mandated to be energy supplier of the last resort, becomes the only organization that has the capacity to import. So they are solely importing because a lot of other marketing companies, even though we're in a so-called free market economy according to the PIA, they do not have the capacity to buy these products abroad because of the high cost of foreign. So NNPC is left with that responsibility to do so. And the government on her own has pegged this price at a certain level. So if the landing cost is about 1,000 to 300, NNPC has been subsidized. In another way, let us call it under recovery, which is the general term, but in an economic sense, that is subsidy. So NNPC is almost subsidizing up to about 500 to 600 naira for a very long time. And in doing this, as the naira, as the FS keep on depreciating, NNPC can no more bear this because this is directly on her books. And it is affecting NNPC. NNPC cannot continue to bear these heavy losses on her books because they own responsibility as a private company now to their shareholders, which is the Ministry of Finance Incorporated and the Ministry of Petroleum Incorporated. And recall, in 2023, NNPC gave a dividend of about 3.2 trillion. That money, the dividends went straight to our shareholders. This money later went straight to the preservation account. And that accounts for the heavy tax allocations to each of the states. So it is expected that at this particular point, we should see more coming in both from the local government, from the state, from the federal government to see how far they can manage this very well.
All right,
But the
Mr. Ibiang.
situation now, NNPC, if we want to follow economic reason, NNPC cannot continue to bear this, or else NNPC as a company will collapse.
Okay,
There's no two ways about it. This can be a big drain on us.
All right, Mr. Ibiang, let's talk about the management, because indeed the NNPC has admitted to owing a significant debt to international oil suppliers. What is the way forward? How do we boost local supply of petrol in Nigeria?
Thank you so much. The only way for us to boost a local supply is for NNPC themselves to begin to sell at an economic price. If they sell at an economic price, other private companies can import. Even a Dangote that is coming on stream, if NNPC continue to subsidize and pay and continue to supply petrol at this current subsidized rate, even the Dangote itself cannot sell below 1,000.
By economic price, Mr. Ibiang, sorry, by economic price, how much are we looking at?
If we must be without emotion, we cannot for now. A cost of processing a liter of petrol is between 50 cents to 60. Now, if you put that together, calculate it including price and other shipping and other put together, definitely if we land in this country around 1,100. So if you put if you decide to do your mathematics very well, and the government decides to say, okay, let us what NNPC is selling at 850 is still below the original economic price. So Dangote itself cannot go below that price unless the agreement the decision the president takes to allow Dangote to have crude in naira. For all other variables concerning the crude are in dollarized. So there's no way. This economy is a very difficult situation we find ourselves now, unless the government can come out openly and clearly to say they want to start paying subsidies. And I don't think that is the direction. That is the only way out is for NNPC to sell at least to an economic price so that other marketers who want to import, they can import. Those who are refiners in Nigeria can also refine and sell at a market reflective price. Besides, most of the money Dangote used to build this refinery are loans, and these loans are in dollars. So I don't think that Dangote is going to a social service. Dangote is going to operate a business. And that is the situation. Nigerians, if Dangote is coming on, it's a good thing. It's going to help our forests. It's going to boost our naira.
All right, Mr. Ibiang.
But however, a decrease in price of petroleum. It is a very difficult situation we find.
I hear you, Mr. Ibiang. Thank you very much. We can go on and on with this, but time really isn't on our side. Oil industry expert Charles Ibiang, thank you for talking to us on TVC News at 10.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.